Netflix is launching a cheaper ad-supported subscription next month.
And the streaming giant is looking to jumpstart growth after its first quarter report revealed a decline in subscribers for the first time in a decade. The new service, Basic with Ads, will roll out 4 to 5 minutes of ads for each hour of content that a viewer consumes. So for more on this, let's bring in Business Insider correspondent Reed Alexander. So this is kind of interesting as a way to as a way to drum up more viewers. I don't know. You would think content is a good way to drum up more viewers, but content is expensive. So what kind of limitations will this new subscription option bring to customers?
Yeah, well, some of the early limitations we're hearing about this new forthcoming option, Netflix Basic with Ads, which is going to go live in the U.S. and roughly a dozen countries in early November, include, certainly, as you pointed out, 4 to 5 minutes of ads every single hour, potentially a lower quality resolution in streaming, and we might see limitations in the number of devices that people can actually access this new subscription through. Now, this comes after other efforts by Netflix to rein in password sharing and to try and charge people outside of the home if they're using prolonged access to a subscription registered to another address. So Netflix testing all different ways to monetize its offerings. But Basic with Ads certainly going to be the cheapest option out there. It may come with some drawbacks, though. It's certainly not going to give you as much flexibility or the perks that a roughly $20 premium subscription would.
So, look, everybody understands that businesses need to grow and they need to earn money. But part of the appeal for many, many years was, and part of this whole movement from television and cable to streaming is, with streaming, you had the opportunity to get the content that you wanted without the ads because you paid a premium for that, right? You paid in addition to cable, and eventually people stopped paying for cable altogether. So why now? And as Anne-Marie points out, a lot of people have sort of complained about Netflix's content over the last 5 years or so. 10 years ago, it was great, and that's where people went for interesting stuff. But now everybody's getting into prestige TV. And so Netflix is sort of suffering because of that. Why not just do better quality content and keep the ads off the platform?
Yeah, no, I think it's a good question. The fact of the matter is, look, ad-free streaming is not going anywhere. Netflix knows that the greatest perk that it can bring to viewers, and really the way that it's transformed streaming television and streaming content, has been helping people avoid having to sit through advertisements. At the end of the day, though, the company is facing an issue where it's bled more than 1 million subscribers this year alone. That's the first time ever. And like a lot of other sort of pandemic era tech companies that really thrived whilst people were at home and in the confines of their living rooms or bedrooms, Netflix has faced a really tough reckoning this year with people looking for entertainment options outside of the home. Netflix knows it's got to stop the bleeding and turn things around. Wall Street analysts are watching. Investors are very disappointed. Their shares are down 60% since the start of the year, where the stock is trading now. So they've got to do something, and they've got to do something fast. Now, they have sort of warded off and disavowed ad-based streaming for many, many years, and the idea of adopting advertisements. So that has raised questions. But they are trying this option, and they're pricing it at the lowest tier possible. I think their hope is that many people will continue to spend a few extra bucks a month and avoid advertisements. Wall Street experts who watch the company, though, in fact, they're very concerned that a lot of people will simply drop down their subscription, that they will say, instead of paying 20 bucks a month, I'll pay $6.99. It's going to be almost $7. That's it. And I'll save a significant savings. Now, as far as content, just to answer that question, a lot of experts actually think that the push into advertisements, which generate money for platforms like Netflix based on impressions, the number of eyeballs they reach, could influence the content mix, because Netflix may feel pushed to embrace certain kinds of content that have broad-based appeal. That could change the kinds of shows and movies you see as Netflix makes an effort to keep advertisers on the hook.
Remember, I want to say it was like a year ago, maybe more than a year ago, Netflix was complaining about password sharing and that they were going to crack down on it. And I can't remember what the number was that they calculated of, lost revenue because of it. Whatever happened with that? Did they actually crack down on password sharing?
Yeah, there was a pilot program that was going on this summer, and it doesn't appear that it's been rolled out, very robustly, but people are watching closely to see if it continues. It was tested in several Latin American countries where there was a $3 fee, $2.99 fee which people who were accessing subscriptions outside of the address where they were registered to would be asked, would you like to pay this additional fee on the membership account so that you can access the streamer where you are? I don't think that's a huge revenue source for Netflix, and it will be interesting to see if they continue to make that push ahead. But they are thinking about ways to prevent this password sharing. I mean, that's a real issue, right? Because what that means is they can have so many more unique viewers, but way less subscriptions. And right now, everybody's mind is on subscriptions, particularly in a difficult economic landscape, as we've seen Netflix lose so many this year.
Ultimately, I guess, Reed and Anne-Marie, what will have to happen is part of the appeal for cutting cable and moving and spending your money on streaming platforms was you thought, okay, this one platform is going to have great content, i.e. Netflix.
Yeah.
Now you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different platforms that are available with all very good content. Yeah. And so when you tally up your bill at the end of the month, I'm one of those dudes, right, that has subscriptions to everything, and I don't want ads, so I'm probably going to be getting the cheaper option, the more expensive option on Netflix. Yeah. Then you're sort of looking at your bill and you're going, well, I'm paying almost the same thing that I was paying for cable. What's the appeal?
Well, what you're getting is instant access whenever you want it. And that would probably be the only thing over and above what cable would offer you. But is that enough?
And inflation, baby, I don't know. Yeah. Like, it's getting expensive, you know?
I think that it's hard to give people something. I think it's hard to give people something and then take it away and charge them. I think that the people, I wonder if they've sort of factored in the resentment sort of component of, oh, now, you know, like essentially you're sort of paying for ads in that it's a discount if you're willing to watch the ads. And I think people would kind of are going to be a little resentful.
Yeah, I think it's possible. And look, this is all going to go live November the 3rd. So we're going to be watching closely to see how current subscribers respond. And Netflix is saying they expect 40 million viewers. That's not subscriptions, but that's overall viewers by the third quarter of next year on their basic with ads tier. You know, the other company facing similar questions to what you both are raising, Anne-Marie and Vlad, is Disney. Disney follows suit, and they will be launching their basic plus version in early December, which I think is going to be priced at $7.99, similar ad-supported streaming. So arguably the two biggest streaming giants wading into this territory at the same time. It's going to make for very interesting viewing, both for all of us who talk about it and write about it and report on it, and for viewers at home watching what these streamers will have to offer.
All right, Reed Alexander for us. Thank you, Reed. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.